So my name is Alan Park. Since it's been 2 months, and we are seeing some, newcomers to
Yeah.
our session. So I'm the head of marketing at AIX, and nice to meet you all. And
My name is Jamie. I'm the client success manager of AIX. Nice to meet the new names here. I've been seeing a lot.
all right, yeah. So what are we gonna talk about today? Is successful mobile game marketing strategy in Korea.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we've more than half of this year we've been talking about Japan, but we are touching on a little bit of Korea.
Korea. We actually received a lot of
Yeah,
requests to talk about Korea as well. So
indeed. So, and we did talk about Korea 2 months ago in August, and then it was more of a general topic, not just the game, but also including the non-games, and then what's highlighted and what's not. And the result of that, showed that the game marketing, when it's mobile, was still big in Korea.
mhm.
So we wanted to have a session committed just for mobile marketing in Korea. So this is what we have. So if you're not an English speaker, or if you want some help with Google translation, this is how you can turn on the automatic real-time translating. So you turn on the caption first, and then you ask Google to translate the caption into your preferable language. And then to leave us any Q&A, you can use the Q&A feature that Google Meet provides, or you can simply leave
Mhm.
messages on the chat box of the meeting. Okay, so these are the table of contents. So
Very jam packed.
yeah, but yeah, let's break some ices today. So I'm gonna start talking about what we already talked about in August. The main topic was that Korea has such an intense culture
Mhm.
of competition.
Mm.
So the main motivation behind the Korean users can be said that they work hard to gain better future, but it's not to achieve certain goal of oneself, but it's not to get behind. So
Mhm.
to survive from the competition.
Mhm.
So let's get a little bit deeper into it. Like what made that in Korea? My assumption, and other many other Korean scholars assumption, is that the high population density in Seoul and in Korea has have affected
Wow.
it.
Mhm.
So Korea is actually has the highest population density amongst OECD countries, all of the OECD countries. So there are 530 people in 100 kilometer area. So when you have more people around you, there are more people to compare and contrast.
Makes sense.
Yes. So it is so easy to see in Korea that something better than what you have. Someone better than you, and an important thing. And it could have been that really the cause that intensely, competitive culture in Korea, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, Japan is, pretty, highly dense too, but not as dense as South Korea.
I can see that
Yeah.
actually.
So that competition, culture has really been, delved into other entertainment, I guess, TV shows and programs.
Mhm.
So there is this audition and competition TV show that's called Produce 48 or Produce 101. So all this, I wanting to be idol girls or even boys doing this, competition, and then they, I guess, fight for the best,
Mm.
and only remain 9 members or 11 members
That would be
based on the season, and then that becomes a group that can debut in hip-hop scene.
Mhm.
So another examples of the TV shows with the Netflix arise, there is a very, very popular show recently, finished, that's called
Mhm.
Culinary Class Wars.
Mhm. I actually watched this one. I just finished watching this one. It's so good. And
So it's not a recommendation there. So like what it does is that it makes the competition structure from what chef who's already having a successful career as a chef, and 80 amateur and influencer chefs.
Mhm.
So there's the competition, and then white and black.
Mhm.
It's such a intense and easy to understand conflict of competition.
Mhm.
And there was another Netflix, a show that's called Physical 100. It was popular in Korea, but also around the globe, and it was finding the strongest man out of 100 people, with athletes, former fighters in UFC, and many of them, started in it, and it gained a lot of hours of views in 2023.
Mhm.
So just summing it up, competition can be very, hard, and it can stress people out. But when you watch people really compete hard
Mm.
in a culture like Korea, there where people are so used to it, it becomes kind of enjoyment, some sort of amusement and some sort of enjoyment. So
Mhm.
competing and winning structure in Korea is most well shown
Mm.
in games
Yeah, actually,
as well.
just want to add as well while watching these shows, I noticed that it's quite different from where I came from, or mostly like the Western competition shows that I've seen. Like, so like the white members of the culinary class wars, they're like really respected already. Like
Mhm.
some people like saying that they could be the judge even in the show, but
Right.
like they still join the competition just to have that I don't know feeling of like excitement and then like achieving more, I guess,
Yeah.
and just like having the chance to like learn
Compete.
and compete from other people. So I've noticed that quite different in culture, I
Mhm.
guess.
Yeah, I mean, many of those, white chefs actually have or had in the past of three-star Michelin restaurants.
Yes.
So, like, why would you compete again after achieving such a high goal,
Exactly.
right?
Mm.
So let's talk about how those enjoying competition has moved into the gaming culture. Yeah, this is a peculiar place in Korea that's called PC방, meaning PC room directly, and it's a popular go-to place in Korea. So like visitor to this place in Korea, you just go there to play games with friends. So it's fun to play games with your friends,
Mm.
but at the same time, it's easier to win when you have such intimate communication with your friends or with your teammates
Mhm.
in a same place like in a PC방. So according to 2023, Korean government made, game white paper, the 8.44% of the entire game industry is coming from PC방.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that adds up to about $16 billion. That's a lot of money. So what people play there? Not, I mean, we will talk about RPG games and its significance in the Korean market, but in PC방, almost half of them play League of Legends.
I've heard that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and FC Online is football, soccer, whichever you prefer. Yeah. So it's a PvP match, and Battleground, also Valorant. All competition. None of it is a PvE, the single RPG games.
Mhm.
So this information shows how people are located into playing to win when you play games. And this research was actually done in 25 years ago, so 1999. Crazy enough. And there were PC banks already. And then about 40% of the PC bank goers were teenagers.
Mm.
So like all the education we can even say that started like 25 years ago, and most people back then played StarCraft. It's also a PvP.
Wow.
And yeah.
Nostalgic.
Yeah, so now I talked about all the game education, but now it's actually a thing.
Mhm.
There are esports academy. There are colleges, universities, and even high schools offering courses in esports. Yes, they learn how to play games. And obviously, but it's not just for becoming professional players, but also they also teach how to become a coach, analyst, etc.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, these are some examples of the esports academy. And some of you may be familiar with it if you watch any like sports, because recently, I mean, this Saturday is the final match of the League of Legends World Championship. So Yeah, just side note over there. Yeah, so all these academies, train and teach, students to become professional players in League of Legends, StarCraft, Battleground, Valorant, etc. Yeah. So in a nutshell, Koreans, competitive culture, working with the Korean, gaming culture, the mindset of most Korean gamers, especially PC games. If you play games, play to win.
Play to win.
Yeah. So just to play games, relax and release stress. There will be people say that, but it turns out that if you play a game, you gotta win. It's very strong in Korea. But is it also true when it comes down to mobile games?
Let's see. Okay, so the next part of our topic today, we're gonna look into like the popular categories within the comparing the popular games in 2023 and 2024 in terms of revenue. So we've used Optica to get this data, and looking into this, it's take note, it's only for the in-app purchases. So what's happening in the categories here is that we can see that the downloads is getting higher, but our revenue is getting lower compared to last year and this year. And looking deeper into this, even though all the revenue of other categories are getting lower, casual is still pushing through. And just take note as well that in Korea, the iOS is the OS that's quite less populated in Korea. And we also mentioned in our last webinar as well that the casual is very much rising in Korea, and especially for like the foreign apps.
Real Match, Candy Crush,
hyper casual.
Townships, Gardenscapes.
Yes, we've heard a lot. And yes, moving on to the downloads. The highest one is a family category, and action is also still rising. Okay, and looking in deeply into this top games, we looked into the top 100 revenue games, and we've seen that in iOS, just looking into the new games that entered this year, mostly it's the action games and the casual games that is getting popular.
Interesting.
In 2024. And those are some notable games that entered the market this year.
Okay.
And yes, so you'll see a bit later too, comparing to the Android, that like RPG is very popular, right? But we've seen in iOS that they're probably doing some strategic choice of category, even though like this a specific example, they're positioning their game as an RPG. It's even in their subtitle and their first screenshot, but they're putting their primary category as action in iOS. And another example that might be a strategic choice of category is eFootball. So like I would imagine this to be in sports or
it should be like
categories, right?
What kind of action? Well, there are a lot of actions when you play football, soccer, but it's a sporting action.
So yeah, but they chose strategically to be in action category. And yeah, so I guess the category or genre is important factor when categorizing your app, but more relevant commonalities among these new games are they have strong IP and also distinctive edge or concept. So we'll talk about that more in the next few slides. So yeah, distinctive edge. So these two games are quite good examples. So the Lucky Defense here, the title in Korean, I guess, is funny.
Yeah,
so
we will
explain a little bit.
Save it for about 10 minutes later's discussion.
All right. And Soul Strike as well, their slogan is funny. Yeah, we'll have this on the next slides later. Okay, and talking about the Android top 2000 revenue games, it's we can see same kind of situation here that the downloads are really getting higher, 15%. That's quite big, but we can see that there is decrease still in revenue for this year. And looking into the revenue, the highest revenue is action. And but even though like RPG is quite huge, it still kind of got a little bit of decrease in the revenue, same as sports and simulation.
Okay.
Okay, and this is for the downloads. We can see that casual still pushing through, and puzzle as well is really high in terms of changes. And yeah, so even though RPG is quite big, we still see quite of decrease. And yeah, this is just like quite summary. So action, casual, and puzzle still increased in all areas, like count how many apps are in this top 2000 and revenue and download. So we might need to look into these categories that maybe there is chance for us to be compete in these categories. And yeah, strategy category is also had increased in revenue and downloads. Okay, so we can see this big chunk in
Yeah,
the
we
pie.
talked about like RPG revenue is a bit decreasing and things like that, but it's still taking up a huge amount of the top 100 revenue chart.
Mhm. And these are some notable games that are new in the chart,
Yeah.
but they're already getting, quite big chunk of revenue
Yeah.
in the market.
We see Load 9 here. It was action in iOS and
All
then
right.
it is RPG in Android.
Right.
So I guess the strategic choice of the category is really just based on like what kind of users are in that OS category specifically. Is it more likely to spend and things like that?
Yes. So yeah, strategic category selection. You can see that it's quite different since the pie chart is quite it looks so different in iOS, but in Android, like the chart is just RPG. So it might be like these games are they have their strategic choice that most likely can lead them to high ARPPU. That's why that's why they're categorizing in our MMORPG.
Yeah.
Yes. And casual games, we've seen a lot of like The Legend of Mushroom, Last War, Lucky Defense, Royal Match, very big names.
Yeah.
Still getting more downloads this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so a little more about the casual and puzzle. Like I guess the main topic when you talk about Android top 10 in Korea in 2024 can be RPG versus casual and puzzle. Casual and puzzle, as Jamie explained, have gained a lot more downloads this year. RPG, I mean, slightly lower revenue, but still dominant in Android. But this tendency is showing up like huge difference because RPG dominance never moved. It was very still and profound in Korea. And all of a sudden we have seen more casual and puzzle, not only downloads, but also significant amount of revenue increase. And our guess, our assumption for that is that the increase in non-game entertainment services like OTTs and web cartoon services, so like reading mangas on your phones, can be the reason why the decrease in RPG. Because watching OTT, watching Netflix, watching Disney Plus takes a lot of time. One TV show is gonna take at least 40 minutes, and then it's gonna require your full attention. But playing RPG games also require the user's attention,
Mhm.
unless it's an idle RPG game. You need to focus on it. You need to spend time on it. But doing that along with the OTT and Webtoon is gonna limit your free time.
That's true.
But if you play casual and lightly playable games, it's more doable
Mhm.
to stand with OTT and games at the same time. It's somewhat doable within free time.
Yes, I'm guilty with that one too.
Oh.
Multitasking at its finest. Yes.
So you're gonna play, three match while you're watching culinary.
Yeah. Oh wait, if it's the Korean TV show, I cannot.
Oh, okay, so you
It has
just
to be
gotta,
an English show.
you have to read the subtitles.
Yes.
It's Korean. Okay, gotcha. So this is just to back up what when we talk about the non-game entertainment services,
Mhm.
these are the increase in the revenue size of the entertainment services in Korea in 2024 and Android, and this is for iOS. OTT services and webtoons are taking up pretty significant uh, distribution in the
Mm.
market. So in summary, casual games are getting more attention. Casual and puzzle games are getting more attention. So like if you are providing any hyper casual puzzle games, Korea can be it might be a good time to breach into the Korean market. And choosing a category can be a very strategic action.
Mm.
It's important to be categorized in similar parts, but nowadays, games have so many different segments, even though it's under the same category. So might as well, if it's within the boundary of, either App Store or Play Store can admit, why not choose a more profiting
Mhm.
category? And distinctive edge, we will get back to it soon, but it seems to be working well in Korea. Providing a very funny title, slogan, or even ad is helping the games to be known and to be played by the users in Korea. And then gamers in Korea are shifting from a category to another as especially from an RPG to likely casual and puzzle because they have less time playing games due to more fun and enjoyable content in OTT and Webtoon.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's talk more about then what's a good user acquisition in Korea. So these are the overall average CPI in Korean per category. So we can see that MMORPGs CPI is very, very high. And simple RPG is pretty high as well, and strategy too. Casual puzzle are relatively lower as far as the average CPI goes, and adventure, simulation, and sports are relatively lower. But as we discussed, sports and adventure may have less user pool. So fighting in this RPG area is pretty hectic. But once you get the user on that right category, it's going to be likely for you to gain high ARPU and ARPPU. So another topic that I brought it up here when it comes down to UA channels, I get this question a lot from our global clients when it comes down to Korea.
Mm.
Naver and Kakao.
Mhm.
Naver is the biggest search engine in Korea, bigger than Google yet. And Kakao is the super app. It started with a chat app, and then it's now super app. It covers a lot of things. So these are two biggest channels that's out there in local. But are they good for UA marketing for games? What do you think?
Hmm.
The answer is that these channels may not be the best for UA,
Mhm.
but it's gonna be good for branding purpose.
Mhm.
So let's find out how games can get the most out of these two giant channels. And the why, it's not for UA is hard to target.
Mhm.
And then the ad services that Naver and Kakao provide, it started with actual products like cosmetics and food and like the card bank and this kind of stuff. So all those were for branding. Wasn't necessarily for directing the right users and things like that. So it really was based on impression. So now they are getting, better at, finding the right target for advertisers. So now I've recently seen more, game marketings done on Naver and Kakao, but
Mhm.
it's still usually for the branding. There are other, UA channels that locally, proficient in Korea, and we will get back to it soon. But, it's still valuable channels if you're using it as branding. So for Naver, it's called Chijijik. Well, the alphabet is CHPZK, and then no one can ever, figure out how to
Yeah,
read
I
it.
was
But
wondering, is that
yeah.
even alphabet?
So, so just briefly, talking about Chijijik is that it's a streaming platform, just like Twitch.
Mm.
And no wonder why it's there. Twitch is not anymore in Korea.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah. It's just that, Twitch couldn't afford the network fee,
Mm-hmm.
the communication fee in Korea. Well, that's what rumor has to say, and that's what many people think is true. But anyway, Twitch is gone, and now Naver providing streaming platform Chijijik is in place, and there are other platforms like that, and that's what it is. And Kakao Game is another branding option. So yeah, with Twitch gone, Chijijik's the number of users are increasing, and this blue line stands for Africa TV. That's another streaming platform, but the purpose of it is very various. It's not just for games, but Chijijik is solely for game. Yeah. So what can games do in Chijijik? Can use the banner advertising or the video ad before uh, streaming video starts, and they can even host a collaborative tournaments, just like inviting Chijijik's influencers, because it's highly game focused platform. So most influencers and then in the platform usually know how to play games, and their main content is game, and they bring them in to play games and have a tournaments to gain more awareness amongst the Korean gamers. Yep, and esports is streamed in the in there, and then so just like having app store, you can have your own Chijijik game page there. So you can put out your information there. You can stream it. So like what you can do can be done on YouTube, can be done on Chijijik as well. Yes. But the target, the audience in this platform is more closer to what you're looking for. So that's briefly about Chijijik, and then now we have Kakao Game Edge here. So it offers various types of marketing options, advertising options, and one is allowing you to have a communication channel. In Japan, it's like having your official line channel. But what it can do with your official Kakao channel here is that you can make the users in Kakao to register for the pre-registration or pre-order. And because Kakao is based on the phone number, it's so easy for you to track the registration numbers. Because when it comes down to pre-registration, it's kind of hard to track unless the users are registered through Play Store or App Store. But now we have Kakao in Korea here, so relatively the accuracy of the pre-registration is higher, and then to gain registration through Kakao is actually easier because everyone in Korea uses Kakao, and they have phone number, and it's easy to participate, and you can also hand out very handful gifts on Kakao emojis with the games, just like Mamu's example here. And you can also easily hand out gifts because Kakao has gift coupon features. So participating in pre-registration, you can give like the emojis, or it can give you like protein bar or something.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so Kakao can be a good choice for you to build brand restoration, build brand awareness, is official channels, many options there. So it might be an interesting option to pay attention to that. And so, yeah, trust me, I will touch more on other various EA channel options. But before that, let's touch on some creative.
Yes. So we kind of like talked about like having an edge already earlier. So making an edge, what does it mean? Basically.
Right.
So we want to wrap it into like one catchy slogan or concept to catch or capture the user's attention, and basically just being simple. So just avoid overwhelming multiple messages. So we'll give you a few examples that has been successful in Korea. So
Yeah.
I would need some help from Alan to read out this
Yeah.
Hangul. So this is from Lucky Defense, like
Yeah.
her first example.
Yeah, this game's Korean title. So the original title is 운빨 전망겜. Yep. So what it is that it sounds the same as a vulgar phrase gamers popularly use in Korea when they want to say "F this game, I'm so unlucky." Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's pretty, it could have been a hard decision for the management of Lucky Defense to allow and confirm our game title is 운빨 전망겜.
Mhm.
Everybody knows that this is a burger phrase. It's not written in burger phrase,
Mhm.
obviously, because it would have been rejected.
Mm.
But they played with the words, and then the gamers loved the title.
Mm.
Because, okay, it's obvious that they're playing with the words, but it's also obvious that they try to mean this. And then, based on that title and the identity, their in-game is highly
Based on luck.
based on luck, but not just about buying gacha and losing it.
Mhm.
In-game plays, they successfully worked with the luck, like rolling the roulettes and things like that in a very fun way.
Mhm.
So users easily understand this is going to be based on luck, but when they they pay attention to it and start playing it, and then it's really easy to stick to their mind and easy to come back and easy to motivate themselves to continue to play.
Mhm. I feel like it's very effective. Like also the use of their the design of their icon. It's like really like connects with the title as well. That
Yeah, I'm
I'm so
mad,
happy
upset,
because of my love.
but at the same time, very hyped
Mhm.
because I won a gacha or roulette or something. Yeah.
Yeah, very smart.
Yeah.
And the
Exactly.
next example is from Soul Strike, and I'm gonna try to say it. I hope I won't say it wrongly. Shibang.
Okay. What does that mean?
Well, you tell me. But yeah, basically, this is not really good meaning. So
Yeah.
it means
Now I said after this game, I'm so lucky with 운빨 전망겜, and it sounds similar to F bang in Korean, but they explain it as a abbreviation of extreme and idle.
Mhm.
In just taking the first syllable of the two words in just one word. So it's not a game title, thankfully, but they chose to use that as a slogan in their new ad, and it wasn't probably the only reason why. I mean, how this game succeeded, but it was newly registered. I mean, charted in with for Android top 100 and iOS top 100 this year.
Mhm. Soul Strike is the name.
Yes, not Shibang, but
Shibang.
many people will remember it as Shibang game.
Yeah, even me, it made me giggle when I first saw it. And yeah, we have the potato.
It's
Zombie
shuk, shuk, shuk.
Shuk, shuk, shuk. Okay, I don't even know how to properly say it, but yeah, they it's part of their name. So in English, it's zombie IO potato shooting, but in Korea, they made it into the potato
Shoo, shoo, shoo.
shoo shoo shoo. So they used like onomatopoeia to, catch users' attention. Is like the sound is like punches or knife sounds, and we'll show you their ads.
Where they're getting
Yes. So this guy is the saying shoo shoo shoo.
and
Yeah.
his shape of the head is very potato-like.
Oh, I just get it now. Okay, that's even more Funnier now.
And that's the original meme of it. So like it started from a mistype of automatic typing
Mhm.
that iOS provides. But the length of it, it makes us wonder what can a person do to have such a long typo. But anyway, this has gone viral on web with this actually existing stone statue in Jeju Island. So like, it's supposed to represent statue, with not chopping.
Fighting. Sorry.
See, it's all wrong, guys. But this is what make you think that it's a chopping or fighting. But it was for like, back in the past, when you do the laundry, you had to do with the
Oh.
like sticks, right?
Uh-huh.
But yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, and so like the sound of it worked so well with the statue, and then people loved it, and then it settled as a meme, very very stunning meme, and then this Zombie.io potato shooting used the meme in the title and also in the ad theme, so easily remember. Yeah. So I guess this is all in the category. I mean, under the umbrella of localization, maybe. But having this kind of edge
Mhm.
can help you have better success,
Yeah.
more success in Korean market.
Yeah. So all of this example, we can say that it's really leveraging the user generated content. So it's based out of a meme and like what the words that they usually use when they playing games. So yeah, it's very distinctive edge. And Korean audiences like they strongly respond to this bold slogans and like they feel culturally in, and it's very easy to share in social media and to your friends as well.
Yep.
And yeah, talking about creative patterns, so we've seen this in the ads of Lucky Defense.
혼발좀만 game. Yeah.
Yes. The Lucky Defense, I think it's very strategic as well that they use the theme of their game and to connect to the users using memes. So like very related memes. Like even though I don't really understand what word it is, it's like
So this is your
luck.
normal day luck. Yeah,
Right.
that's unlucky.
Mm-hmm.
But when you play Lucky Defense, you will be lucky. That's
Uh-huh.
was the point of this, cute cat.
Right.
And obviously the cat
The
meme
cat meme
in the video.
saying, huh?
And yeah, I'm sure many of you can recognize the face of this guy here. So like you're saying that, this stage's success or failure is all at your luck.
Mhm.
So it's 25% to release the curse,
Mhm.
and boom, fail. Yeah. So playing with the meme, playing with the has been a very important factor for Lucky Defense game to succeed in Korea.
Mhm.
함께한
And
시간의
another
추억만큼 쌓인
creative pattern that we've seen
수행자님들의 바람.
booming in
게임에
Korea
구성원이
is the using the real staff, like the developers and then like the
Our
directors as well
director,
in their ads. So these are two different games, and they're using this.
our director,
Same.
and then producer.
So really personalized, I guess.
So it's showing the integrity of
Mhm.
these makers. Like they are serious about what they make.
Mm-hmm.
Like they care about it.
They care about it, and they're willing to show their faces that integrity.
Yeah.
Right.
So this leads to the importance of building the right communication with the Korean users.
Mhm.
So this is from a popular Korean game YouTube channel, and it's an algorithm of what Korean users expect from the game makers when it comes down to communication. So willing to communicate with users? No, there's no communication. But if yes, it should be okay, right? So they are communicating with us. They should satisfy there, but they ask one more question. Really apply what users need and want. And game providers may say no to that. So then means to the users that there's no communication. the only way to satisfy them is that the communication should be done with integrity and maybe with wit.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's integrity, if you show just like the examples in the creative of like directors, sincereness that you care about it, it's like 80%,
Mm-hmm.
right? But if it's added with wit, that's the communication that the Korean gamers are expecting.
Mm-hmm. The bar is high.
Very, very high. And so, I mean, when we talked about the marketing in Japan, we said that, most game publishers or developers focus on, building the communication through their X account, YouTube, Discord. But Korea, it's hard to see them communicating directly, like what, Japanese games in Japan usually do.
Mm-hmm.
Bar is so high, so just having none is actually somewhat better because they just get scolded a lot once they start communication. But we've brought some good examples of what made people in Korea think is good communication.
Mhm.
So these three guys here, right here, you might wonder why they are red, but the one in the middle is CEO. One on the left is the vice president of the company and the main director of a game called Trickle Revive. It's a very cute subculture game in Korea, and yeah, with very like chubby chick, and so like they brought this very like variety show type of setup.
Mhm.
It's not just random stage that they set it up, but they did it on their first anniversary celebrating Q&A.
Mhm. And it garnered a lot of live viewers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like it was to a great surprise to in both the users of this game,
Mhm.
but also non
Mm.
users of the game thought this was so funny. This is what I want from the developers and the publisher of the game. So it not the view of the video. The live view was 100,000.
Mhm.
So we don't have any, pretty idol K-pop members in the show or in the video. It's just three middle-aged men, kind of, flown into the swimming pool.
Can you explain what's happening?
Yeah, so like, whenever you touch the face, there are certain actions that, will trigger the water from the top.
Oh, that's why he's doing that to the CEO.
Yeah. And if you say a certain phrase, you're gonna be flown into the pool. So like this was a popular variety show template, like in 20 years ago, and they brought it up on here again. So,
Fun.
but I know and understand, global game providers is going to be very much hard to have a communication like this, but there will be a good leeway for that. This may not be a game, but Manchester City, the England's prominent football team, actually post Korean content on their X account or YouTube, Instagram, all the time.
Very cute.
Very cute, and they even say hello.
Saying you love him.
I'm really amused by this.
Yeah. So the reason why we brought it up here is that it's all combining the director or the maker or the publisher of the game when it's from foreign
Mhm.
country.
Mhm.
You show up on a TV and just say hi, say 안녕하세요. It's going to make the Korean users think that, okay, you are serious about your game and you are serious about the Korean market.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden you will gain a huge brand awareness. Very good reliability
Mhm.
with the Korean users.
Yes, I've seen it a lot, not just in mobile game, but there's a lot of brands like specifically going to Korea or making Korean contents just to like target the country. Like one good example is the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. They did like so many interviews there and like so many days as well.
Mhm.
They speak in Korean and then interact with Korean shows as well.
Yes.
and people really loved it, and I feel like it really increased the integrity
Yeah.
of the movie
Yeah.
and the actors as well.
Because I think, all the education still kind of make the Korean people think that the Western culture is somewhat more advanced
Mhm.
than Korea.
Mm,
So whenever the Western advanced cultured people talk in Korean to them, they feel hyped patriotism called kukbong, and then it can be a good strategy to make an impactful communication with the Korean nations.
mhm.
Yep. So last point that we want to make here is the budget distribution amongst the ranks of your games. So it's divided by the average daily revenue on there. So AAA games is the biggest games, full focus from pre registration to UA marketing and branding. But as we talked a lot about communication, they don't spend a lot of time on there.
Mhm.
They rather put their effort on and resource and communication to branding. Yeah. So these are some medias that these AAA games popularly use amongst every different phases.
Mhm.
So in Vancouver, we have this inside NamuWiki, Google Ads, Metacully, Darwin are mostly the UA parts. And a little bit of branding, Neighbor Kakao branding, SMR scope, retention and branding, TikTok branding and retention. So they repeat this all the time, and this is the budget distribution of every single phase. So as you can tell, uh, quite a bit spent on pre-registration, but a lot on the first 2 months in the launch period.
Mhm.
Because same as Japan, but it's so important to gain as many users as possible in the first couple of months in Korea to really remain successful. And the AA games are usually, the games that's kind of stepped down from AAA.
Mhm.
So a little difference here is that their effort for registration and the branding are not as huge as AAA games, but UA is still max and localization effort not very much, communication almost none. Yeah, and almost similar use of the media channels, but notable difference is here that these games are using more like global channels like Ion Source, AppLovin, Local. There's no this inside and other Korean stuff, but Naver and Kakao is still there for they are good source of branding and gaining increasing the registration number.
Mhm.
Okay. And lastly, the A games is graph is very simple.
Mhm. UA.
UA all the way. And when you focus just on UA, this would be the good media choice. And not so much of pre-restoration. Once it's out there, you're gonna uh, do the cross marketing with the UAs. And it's usually the casual and hyper casual puzzle games follow this logic, because if it's like an RPG and then subculture RPG where you need to gain maximum brand awareness to really start and then become the one game that people really pay attention and spend a lot of money, you're gonna need that maximum attention in short amount of time. But casual and puzzle games, compare relatively, have more time to wait for BEP. So they start with small amount of UA, and then they scale up by testing the right media and the right creative, right communication message, not the communication channels directly.
Mhm.
Yep. So that was about it that we prepared for this month's virtual coffee break, and next month is 1 week ahead because there will be Thanksgiving
Yes.
in the last Thursday of November, and then the topic will be about Christmas and how Japan and Korea prepare for year end and New Year, so that you will have at least some sort of time to prepare for seasonal marketing top, I guess, campaigns and maybe creative updates. So November 21st is our next webinar date, and the topic is going to be Christmas and New Year celebration in Japan and Korea. So yeah, we have about like 10 minutes left. So it'll be love to receive some questions and discuss about the Korean market. Any like notes that you wanna make, or
Or like some struggles that you've had
Yes.
probably.
yeah, we are here to help. And if you think this might not be the right time, you can always reach out to us for help. And yeah, because AIX is capable of, as we provided this kind of information. You can. Our pleasure.
Many thanks for such a great webinar from Natalia. Thank you.
AX is always open for, going over a conversation and discussion for Japan and Korea, and not just Japan and Korea or any other like marketing discussions. And yeah, we will be more than happy to help you guys to have a more successful marketing experience in
Mhm.
Japan and Korea.
Feel free to add us on LinkedIn as well.
Yep.
We can chat about maybe your struggles entering in Japan and in Korea. And then maybe if you're traveling here as well.
Yeah, just come by our office, or there will be free coffee ready
Yes.
and some
Mhm.
Japanese snacks.
I've met a few last time when we had an offline not webinar, offline networking event here in our office. It was nice to, see the people who watched the webinar as well.
Mhm.
And sadly, Alan wasn't here because he's in another event in
San Francisco.
San Francisco. And yes, he talked about really good stuff there as well about Korea and Japan. So
Mhm.
yeah. Mhm. Okay, we're not receiving any questions right now. Can we just ask them questions?
If you have any questions, please go ahead.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Any K-pop fans or Korean drama fans?
Yeah. Any memorable content that you watched on Netflix but happened to be Korea? It was made from Korea. Like, Squid Games is kind of old, and
Oh, there will be season 2.
yeah.
Excited about that. I'm excited about how much budget they're gonna spend on that one. Korea is really all about big productions.
Yeah,
They're serious about their craft.
they are. And then the amount of the budget they put on a certain production or certain, I guess, product is a good marketing source.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a proof that the product will be a good one.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. They trust it.
Yeah, especially when it's like, movie or drama production.
Or even the competition shows. The
Yeah.
culinary class wars. Wow.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah,
huge.
many articles talked about how much money that they had to spend to set up the stage
Mhm.
and to prepare all the food and the dishes and the utensils that they need.
Right. The
For that.
ingredients as
Yeah,
well.
and all the setting up of the gas and all different kind of stuff.
To afford all those chefs, like they were joking, like probably half of the restaurants in Korea were closed because 100 chefs were there. Oh, there's a question from Muhammad. Is Korean developers invested in Pakistani games companies?
There will be some developers who are interested in it, but is I would definitely say that Korean developers, when they develop games, their main priority market is their own
Mhm.
Korea, and then next is Japan, and next is US and Europeans countries. Because I guess it's quite unfortunate that the Korean people haven't really looked so much into Pakistan or other like
Other
Southeast
countries,
Eastern countries or Middle East countries yet.
Can see that. And also, I've noticed that when we were preparing for this webinar, a lot of games are only available in Korea. Like they don't even have English names with their
Mhm.
game. So, yeah, I
Mm.
see the sense of your answer.
So Mama's question is, you need your help with your game quality, and then so you are trying to have your game in Korean market. Is my understanding correct? And then to have your game ready for the Korean market, I can definitely think of having the right localization, and then oh yeah, I mean today's webinar topic was mainly about Korea. And if you can, look for one other information about other markets, you can refer to our previous uh, virtual coffee breaks and webinars where we talked about Japan. Yes, and we are, located in Japan currently. So, and I'm from Korea. So, like our, I guess, more proficiency is in Japan and Korea. So we try to give insights that we are more confident and we are more up to date.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for the question.
Yeah, we can get back to you, Muhammad, and then let's discuss
Mhm.
more deeply with your concerns and questions, perhaps.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. We'll get back to you with email, and after we hear more from you, like what kind of information and what kind of support and help that you need the most. I guess I can help you with the maybe the contact of list and yeah.
Yes. And also, if you registered to this webinar, we will be sending this presentation and also the recap of the video, the replay of the video through your registered email. So yeah, please wait a little bit for it. Yes. Well, saving your email for
Mhm.
now. Okay. Shall we
Yeah.
wrap up? Unless we have received more questions.
I think it's about the time. It's about time. So thanks for being with us today, and I'll look forward to the next
Yes.
webinar and meeting.
Okay. 감사합니다.
Yeah, Mama, there will be other, and people from other countries. I think, they kind of left early
Yes.
in the room. So
We had from Vietnam and Serbia and Russia, I think,
Yeah.
Montenegro. Yeah, very international. But yeah, thank you so much for joining.
Yep. All right. Talk to you soon, Mohammed.
See
And
you.
bye,
Thank
Olga.
you,
And
Olga.
have a great evening, rest of the day. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.